Have you ever actually stopped and wondered how that little smartphone of yours can make calls, play heavy games, snap stunning photos, connect to the internet, and even run artificial intelligence? And all of this happens from a device that literally fits right in your pocket?
Well, the secret lies inside one incredibly small circuit board. We call it the mobile motherboard. It's basically the heart and brain connection of your phone. You've got dozens of tiny electronic components working together every single second. And get this, if even one important chip stops working, your phone might not charge, it could lose its network, produce zero sound, or just refuse to turn on at all. So in this explainer, we're going to explore every major component on a mobile motherboard. We'll break down exactly what it does, how it works, and why it's so absolutely crucial, all in simple, straightforward language. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so here is our exam revision blueprint for today. For all you engineering students out there, we're breaking this syllabus down into 5 logical systems for easy studying. 1, the central nervous system. 2, processing and memory modules. 3, power and connectivity systems. 4, audiovisual and sensory components. And 5, system integration and flow.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the central nervous system. This is where we understand the true foundation of the device. Think of the mobile motherboard, the main printed circuit board, or PCB, as acting exactly like a human body's central nervous system. Look at it this way. If the processor is the brain, the battery is the heart, and the wires are the nerves, then this board is the central platform holding it all together. Without this base, parts like your RAM, storage, and sensors simply cannot communicate with each other. Every single signal and power supply travels right through here.
Moving right along to Section 2, processing and memory modules. Let's see how the brain and memory build the core processing power.
Right at the center of the action is the SoC, or System on Chip. This is your central processor. It is the absolute brain of the smartphone. We're talking about a chip forming literally billions of calculations every single second. Whenever you open up YouTube, play a graphic-heavy game, or just make a quick call, this single chip, manufactured by companies like Qualcomm, Apple, or MediaTek, is exactly what's handling the task.
Now, what is really fascinating here is the breakdown of what's inside that SoC. It is incredibly packed with specialized chips all in one unit. You've got the CPU executing instructions, the GPU handling graphics, and the NPU, your AI engine, doing heavy lifting for artificial intelligence tasks like face recognition. Then there's the ISP, making your camera quality better, a security processor locking down your passwords, and of course, the modem connecting you to 4G and 5G networks. It's an entire computer architecture crammed into just millimeters of space.
Next up in our revision guide, we really need to contrast RAM with storage. They serve totally different purposes. RAM, or random access memory, is your fast, temporary multitasking workspace. It keeps apps like WhatsApp and Chrome ready so they open instantly. Storage, on the other hand, specifically UFS storage, is your permanent high-speed vault. That's where you save your photos, your documents, and the operating system itself. Basically, more RAM equals smoother multitasking, while more storage gives you a much bigger vault for all your data. But hey, a brain needs energy, right? That brings us to Section 3, power and connectivity systems.
Here is where we introduce a highly critical engineering component, the PMIC, or Power Management Integrated Circuit. You see, the battery can't just power chips directly. Why? Because different components need completely varying voltage levels across the board. So the PMIC steps in, takes that raw battery power, and carefully distributes the exact specific voltages needed by every single microchip. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that without the PMIC safely sequencing this power delivery and preventing overvoltage, the phone just can't operate, period. It manages the battery charging, it supplies that precise voltage everywhere it needs to go, and it protects the entire system against overheating. It's essentially the ultimate bodyguard for your motherboard. And working right alongside the PMIC is the charging IC. I really want to highlight its specialized role here. Whenever you plug your phone into a wall charger, this chip safely manages that massive influx of power. It dictates the charging speed, supports fast charging, monitors the battery temperature, and completely prevents overcharging. If it wasn't there ensuring safe USB communication, your battery could easily get destroyed. Next up is the RF, or radio frequency section. This is a group of specialized chips tasked entirely with transmitting and receiving all wireless signals. We're talking 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and NFC. This section is literally your phone's lifeline and connection to the outside world.
If you drop your phone or get water damage right in the specific area, you are going to get that dreaded no service error. Let's jump straight into Section 4, Audiovisual and Sensory Components. We'll review the hardware that lets the phone interact with the physical world. First, let's detail how the audio-visual hardware works together. The audio IC processes every single sound you hear and record, expertly managing your mics, speakers, calls, and music. Meanwhile, the camera hardware relies on a massive team effort. The camera sensor physically captures the incoming light, and then it teams up with the image signal processor and the AI engine. Together, they remove visual noise, manage HDR, and churn out beautiful, stabilized photos. Now, to make a phone truly smart, it relies on an entire suite of intelligent sensors. Take a look at this table. You've got the accelerometer detecting movement, the gyroscope tracking rotation, the proximity sensor smartly turning off your screen during a call, an ambient light sensor adjusting brightness, your fingerprint scanner for security, and the magnetometer acting as a digital compass. And what connects all these peripheral sensors directly to the motherboard? Tiny, highly engineered hardware connectors that guarantee flawless communication. And this brilliantly illustrates our final section, Section 5, System Integration and Flow. Let's look at a synthesizing case study. Let's trace the exact step-by-step data flow during a standard camera operation. This is a perfect example of system integration. Step 1, the processor receives the camera launch command. Step 2, the RAM and storage load up the camera application. Step 3, the camera sensor captures the light. Step 4, the ISP and AI engine step in to instantly process and improve that image. Step 5, the display shows you the final photo. And finally, Step 6, the RF chip uploads that data via Wi-Fi or 5G. The processor coordinates all of these separate components flawlessly, literally in a fraction of a second. It's wild. A smartphone motherboard might just look like a small green circuit board to the untrained eye, but it is truly one of the most advanced electronic systems ever designed. Every single chip has a unique responsibility. Together, they transform a simple battery-powered device into a massively powerful computer that slips right into your pocket. Next time you use your phone, just remember that millions of electronic operations are happening every single second inside that tiny little board. If you found this explainer helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really does leave you wondering, as chips get even smaller, will the motherboard eventually disappear entirely and just be integrated right into the screen itself? Thank you so much for watching, and let us know, which video do you want next?